Robinson. I am 39 years old. I live in Sanders, Arizona, which is about 45 minutes west of Gallup, New Mexico, and I am from the Navajo Nation. So I manage my daily costs and expenses, a lot of times on credit cards, just day-to-day trying to meet the needs, the financial needs that our family might have, and a lot of times credit is used in the day-to-day.
My name is Melvin Chavez Jr. and I'm 52 and I live out in Church Rock, New Mexico. My daily expense, I usually try to manage it the best way I can, and you don't know if you'll have enough to make it through the week. What I make on a monthly basis is not enough for me to get through the day. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes I can't get through it. It makes me a little stressful.
Borrowing money has been always very stressful for me. It's difficult to go ask for more money or borrow money, not understanding, a lot of times what the repercussions are of borrowing more money. It's easy sometimes to get, and then, you don't quite understand, or you're just in a desperate situation that you end up in that position. I don't particularly like to borrow money if I don't have to. Accessing financing proves to be very difficult. We live on the Navajo Nation, and the home that we live in doesn't carry any collateral. The only collateral that sometimes that we do have is a car, those sorts of things. That makes it difficult when you don't have what a bank or a specific lender needs.
When I think about borrowing money to cover my bills from a family member or from a loan company, it's kind of like shameful. It seems like they look at you like, you have a job, you have, your retirement. But then again, that most of that it goes to the bills. So it's kind of like hard to do, and it's scary. They always ask for so many documents, and they kind of like suck you in to get this loan. They say, yes, this is the interest that you're going to be paying, and that's how much it's going to be. It seems like I'm just paying just $15 every month.
So we only have 4 bank branches that are here. At one point we did have 5. Last we counted, there were 52 predatory lenders that were here in the Gallup, New Mexico area. And anytime we have any of these conventional banks that retreat from communities such as Gallup and these tribal communities, rural communities that are already underbanked and they're underserved, that allows for predatory practitioners to come in, and they see the opportunity. They see the need, they see the limited access to capital. Coming from a community where any and everybody that I have met, including myself, has at one point experienced financial hardship, and seeing these predatory practices come in is not just upsetting, but it's hurtful, it's stressful, it's just gut-wrenching. You don't expect people to come in and not understand your story or make you feel little in such a big room. It makes you feel as if you don't have a voice, that you're not going to overcome that. You don't know where to go. You don't know what to do next. I've been in many of those situations personally myself, and to have an individual come to me and tell me that they cannot fill out an application, they cannot read the paperwork that was presented to them, that they don't understand what their interest rates are, they don't understand what their contract is telling them, and they feel stuck. It's upsetting and it's worrisome.
It's scary knowing that there's not a lot of options out there, especially when you get in a bind. It's very difficult. My message to investors would be that we are an underserved community. We desperately need more lenders. We need more lenders. We need more resources to help us move forward. And a lot of us, we have dreams and we have desires and different things that we want to grow our community. We want to grow to help our people.
I think that banks and lenders need to understand that it's very difficult for folks that are living in a community where they cannot necessarily achieve permanent belonging. They cannot achieve home ownership. They cannot achieve a direct understanding of how things work in Western society versus tribal communities. It's very difficult. It's night and day. Equitable access to capital without having to stress about a credit score, without having to stress about a collateral, without having to stress about, is their interest rate going to be too high?
I had a lot of self-doubt, and it really was from the trauma that I had previously with traditional lenders. I just thought, okay, they're asking for more information, and that means it's going to be a no because, you know, my debt to income ratio is high. So I received one-on-one counseling with Southwest Native Assets Coalition. We sat down, we went over an action plan. I went over my credit score. So when my loan application was approved, I was very excited. I felt a sense of relief. It was amazing to know that I could breathe a little bit easier and I could go to sleep at night knowing that our needs were going to be met and some debt was going to get paid off and paid down. I knew I could make with the income I was making to pay back that loan. It was just a huge relief, yeah.
Many individuals that have come to me are stressed out about their credit reports being pulled and me making a decision based solely on their credit report, when that's not the case. We take the approach of sitting down with our clients. We take the approach of understanding that they come from these communities where there are limited jobs, where there are limited options as far as borrowing, and how we can turn that no into a yes.
There should be more of these nonprofit organizations. It's really helpful. They're very friendly and, you know, they explain what's needed. There should be more of this that should be on the Navajo reservation, you know, that people can get help from and they can be happy again.